Power Rangers arrived on the scene with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in 1993, and the success of the show is what led to Power Rangers booming as a franchise. Now, the Power Rangers have returned, this time partnering with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as they fight against the forces of Zedd and the Foot Clan. The third issue's already here, and we have a lot of catching up to do. So why don't you tap on that subscribe button so we can begin? It's good versus evil again. The issue opens with Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger, and Leonardo on what seems to be a suicide mission, and jumps back in time 3 weeks to show what happened. 3 weeks ago, Trini, Donatello, and Raphael had defeated War Bunny, while the rest of their team had unsuccessfully tried to stop the Foot Clan from stealing a bioconducting super metal object. Though the heroes think they stopped War Bunny, he was just a distraction for Karai to steal something for Shredder. Raphael and the Green Ranger had realized by now that if they don't gather intelligence, the combined forces of Shredder and Zedd would rule over the world. So they broke into the Moon Palace, where they discovered that Shredder had created morphers to give his henchmen the same powers of the Rangers. The two are horribly outpowered by the morphed Bebop and Rocksteady. Thankfully, Splinter had overheard their secret mission plan and followed them with Jason and Leonardo. Though Raphael and Tommy are saved, Splinter ends up being subjected to Shredder's fire blast. With Splinter dead, the Turtles lose more than a mentor. They lose their father figure, their teacher, and their friend. Leonardo blames Tommy and Raphael for Splinter's death and leaves with Donatello. Jason and Trini leave with them to keep an eye on them. Billy also notes a surge in morphin energy in a different universe. Zedd and Shredder's forces decide to strike at this moment, and the Power Rangers summon Megazord, using the remaining Turtles to step in for the missing Rangers and fight the goons in Sydney and Tokyo. Trini, Jason, Donatello, and Leonardo observe the senseless attacks and correctly deduce that they are mere distractions. The real attack was being led by Shredder and Zedd in the Prometheus Research Center to steal the Technodrome. The foursome obviously don't want that to happen and step in to stop them. The fight at the facility. In a surprising case of journalistic integrity, Channel 6 intern Farkas Bulkmeyer and his faithful assistant Skull report live from the fight. Shredder, impressed with Jason's skills, offers to train him, but Jason points out that he couldn't be that good of a mentor as he is a failed, middle-aged assassin who is still unable to beat some teenagers. Meanwhile, Donatello has a revelation that shows how messed up the situation they are in is. He realizes that the power coins the villains were using were able to tap into any power or morphin grid, which meant that the longer the fight went on, the stronger their opponents became. Leonardo tries to stop Zedd in the Technodrome lab, which is full of mutagen containers, demanding an explanation as to why he was there. Zedd, however, does not consider Leo a worthy opponent and tells him that he isn't owed an answer. He is also disappointed as Shredder had built Leo up to be a strong warrior, but Zedd found him slow and predictable, a warrior of yesterday, like his master, who is only doomed to fail. Bringing up Splinter's name was not the best idea, as Leo is still in mourning. He lands a strong punch on Zedd's chin, telling him that he is Splinter's legacy, a reminder that the old ways are the best ways. Zedd is knocked into the glass chambers, and they ooze out the green liquid inside them. Grace Sterling, the woman in charge at the research facility, orders the dispatch of all security drones and engagement of all countermeasures. Meanwhile, 3 of Shredder's henchmen teleport in and radio Shredder to know that the gravity well is in place and that the Technodrome will be operational soon. Shredder tries one last time to get Jason as his mentee, offering to teach and nurture his dark desires with no judgment. All that brings up in Jason is nausea. Suddenly, a massive blast opens up the roof of one of the buildings and the Technodrome begins to raise up into the skies, likely due to the gravity well. Shredder sends out a global message to all his lackeys to return to the Moon Palace as they had what they came for. One of his warriors complains that they need to take care of their turtle and ranger problem when they were still splintered. I apologise a lot for this pun, but I had to. It was right there. Shredder tells them that the turtles and rangers can't run for long, as he intends to make sure they have no place to run to. Next steps and unlikely allies. Zordon approaches Rita Repulsa and Krang to help the Rangers figure out their next move. Repulsa isn't that eager to help someone who imprisoned her, but Zordon plays into her vanity and asks whether she wants Lord Zedd to succeed where she failed. Krang absolutely loves Zordon's attempt at manipulation, and Repulsa reveals that the Technodrome is key to destroying the Zords. Krang adds that Shredder and Zedd want them to suffer along with defeating them. The Turtles and Rangers talk about the mission, thankful that there were no casualties, but regretting the stolen Technodrome. Raphael passive-aggressively blames Leonardo for leaving, but Zordon puts a stop to the blame game. He tells them that the villains want the Turtles and Rangers to be scared and want them to do things in fear that they know to be wrong. It wasn't a simple attack, but an attack on everything that they hold dear. So it was important for everyone to put aside their fear, anger, and grief to fight together for humanity. Zordon sends everyone except Leonardo and Tommy to inspect interdimensional anomalies. Leonardo suspects that Zordon doesn't trust him, but Zordon assures him that that is not the case. He wants Leonardo and Tommy to investigate the energy surge Billy noticed during Splinter's death in an uncharted region of space. Zordon suspected it to be the temple of the white light, which houses a weapon that would help them in the darkest of times. The duo sets out in the Radbug. Meanwhile, the rest of the Power Rangers fight with the morphin power of the villains in Dimension X, with some help from their friend Casey and the Dimension X Rangers. Raphael, Michelangelo, Billy, and Kimberly find themselves in an unknown place which seems familiar and has clearly just hosted a massive fight. Before they can figure out where they are, the now armored War Bunny attacks with his Mousers, eager for revenge. He is joined by Pudgy Pig and Chrome Drome in the bushes nearby. Someone watches unnoticed. While this is going on, Shredder bullies one of his goons, reminding him of how insignificant he is and gives him 12 hours to finish the transformation. What transformation? We don't know yet. Zedd, who we only hear, comments on how his body and mind has changed and lets Shredder know that the grid is open to him and the Rangers must not reach the light. It might be too late for that as Tommy and Leonardo reach the Temple of White Light. Unfortunately, their connection to the command center is severed and they are on their own. In the temple, they encounter the spirit of a white tiger who tells them they are not welcome there as they are unworthy of what they seek because of their sorrow and distrust-filled hearts. The white tiger is struck down by black lighting before it gets a chance to reveal who the worthy one is. The cause of the black lightning reveals himself to be General Zedd, transformed by his encounter with the mutagen. He claims the ability to see the future where he says Zordon and all their friends are dead. He promises them that despite all their service, the universe will only remember them as the first ones to fall. Verdict. This might be the suicidal mission Leo and Tommy were talking about in the beginning of the series. It is sad that the two think Zordon sent them there as punishment. It is hard to predict what will happen in the next issue. Who was the worthy one? Surely it is none of the Turtles or the Rangers, since they are all in mourning. Could it be Casey? That's my guess for now. Perhaps he heads over to the temple after they wrap up stuff in Dimension X. I don't think, or rather, I desperately hope neither Tommy nor Leo end up dead from this. It is heartbreaking to think they blame themselves for Splinter's death and believe they deserve death as punishment for it. What are your predictions for the next issue of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3? Let us know in the comments below, and if you liked the video, tap on that thumbs up. We will soon be back with more awesome stuff, and until then, goodbye.